Hello everyone, Sarat here, and what you are looking at is something I hinted at during the Year 1 Game Boy retrospective I just finished up, and that is the Final Fantasy Legend. The Final Fantasy Legend was released by Squaresoft. I'm pretty sure Sunsoft had a few things to do with this too. I don't know the full history. I do know there was another game that I can't remember the full name of and probably would butcher the pronunciation of anyway, but it ended in Saga. And a couple of years ago, as of the time of this recording, Square had re-released these games as the collection of Saga for the Nintendo Switch. So, these games were a completely different franchise that Square decided to bring over, port to the Game Boy, because, frankly, they fit pretty well on the Game Boy, as far as size and cartridge strength go. Although having a very long-running RPG on a system that only had 6 to 8 hours of battery life in the very beginning was a bit of a head-scratcher. But they did counter this by having the ability to save just about anywhere in the game, so you were never really in a pickle if you saw the battery indicator come up on the Game Boy, because you could just finish whatever you were doing, save, and change out your batteries if you really needed to. As I did on many bus trips back in college way back when. So, these are really good little RPGs for a very old system. Are they as good as the NES games? I would say they're not as good as the first one, because I have nostalgic memories of that one, but they are definitely, in my opinion, only my opinion, they are definitely better games than Final Fantasy 2 or 3. And no, I'm not talking about the Super Nintendo 2 or 3, if you're not familiar with that whole debacle. But that is a situation we can get into, but there were 3 NES, or Famicom actually, Final Fantasy games released. For whatever reason, Japan never sent us number 2 or number 3, but they did send us the Saga games with the Final Fantasy name just stitched onto them. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know either. I'm really surprised they didn't decide to try to give us number 2 or number 3 over here, but I guess translating them might have been a bit more than they wanted to. When they wanted to do, that is. And, Final Fantasy Legend, it didn't have nearly as much dialogue to go through, because, well, it's a Game Boy game, and most of the data's in the characters. I'm not really kidding about that. So let's, hit start and get the intro going. It has been said that the tower in the center of the world is connected to paradise. Dreaming of a life in paradise, many have challenged the secret of the tower. I thought I gave it enough time, but apparently not. But no one knows what became of them. Now, there is another who will brave the adventure. So, let's talk about the characters, shall we? You have human male, human female, you have mutant male, you have mutant female, and then you have 4 monsters. Specifically what these monsters are is only vaguely relevant, as we will get to in a minute, but your 2 humans here, when you fight, they will never, well, actually, let's talk about that in a second. Because, to start out with, I've got to create me. because I'm going to be the main character in this game, aren't I? Unfortunately, you only have four digits to make your name. So the U or the A had to go. Sura just seems weird. Surat. So that's about as close as I can get. Srat, I guess you could say. Surat. There we go. And here we are, full dork mode here in our little bandana. That's the one thing, you don't get to change the character sprites, mostly. But it's pretty simple. Select brings up your order and lets you set message speed and such. Which we will probably pick faster messages, is because. So, as a human, let's see if I can get anything. Surat here starts out with a strength of 8, defense of 1, agility of 4, and mana ability of 0. Fighters cannot cast magic. They just can't. There's no way around it. They just can't. You start out with a longsword, which I'll get into that in a second, but these are your stats. These are the only stats you worry about. The hit point, strength, defense, agility, and mana. The higher your strength, the harder certain weapons hit. The higher your defense, the less damage you take in battle. The higher your agility, the better chance to hit things you have, and the better weapons, the better certain weapons perform, and the higher your mana, the better your magic performs. Go figure. These the very basic game. I'm pretty sure you can see that by now. A longsword, something we grab at the start, and we have basically bronze gauntlets. We also have space for 6 more items, which is going to be very important because if you notice, the weapons have durability on them. You can only swing this thing 50 times before you need to buy a new one. Yeah. It kind of makes the end game kind of dicey. And is also why I failed to finish the second one of these. I was wrong when I did the original thing. But no, this one I didn't finish because the save corrupted fairly near the end way back when. I think the battery was actually corroded, which was kind of scary. The second one I didn't finish because I got up to the end and, oh look, all my weapons are broken. The third one I didn't finish because my Game Boy died, and then I put the cartridge up and forgot about it before I finally got a new Game Boy. Same reason I could never finish Metroid 2 back in the day. It's kind of sad. So, you've seen this. And items, we have nothing. Equipment, we have no extra equipment to throw at anything. We got is what we got. And we have absolutely no money to start with either. But we can save right off the bat. Anywhere we want to, pretty much. I don't think there's a single block position from saving in this entire game. Because Game Boy. So let's talk to all the townsfolk. If you want to advance, choose members of the guild, is good advice. There is no run button, by the way. You are stuck at this walking speed forever. If you lose your last heart, you can't be brought back to life. This is also good advice. I think the main character is immune from this problem. House of Life back here. If somebody dies, you need to revive them. It costs 100 gold, which is relatively cheap, but it also costs another resource, which I will get into in a second. You know, it'd be nice if you stopped blocking the stairs, dude. Just saying. There's another town in the southeast. That's good to know, because we will go there soon. Once you leave town, it's a savage land, i.e. monsters are everywhere and they will try to eat your face. And just do not, by accident, step onto the path before you recruit extra party members, because you are alone right now. This tower leads to paradise, and the door is locked by magic of black. This, believe it or not, is our main goal in the area, to get a hold, to undo the magic and actually get in there. That's our main goal. It's going to be a little bit before we complete that. So the shop, we can buy a longsword, we can buy an axe, we can buy a rapier, we can buy gold gauntlets, gold armor, we can buy ice magic, electricity magic. We have nothing to sell. And you sell strong potions, agility potions, hit point 200 potions, health potions, come in batches of 3, X health potions, also come in batches of 3, antidotes in 3s, eye drops in 3s, revives in 1 for a ton of freaking money, and extra hearts. Also rods, which can be useful, I guess. I don't think I ever saw the point of rods back in the day, but maybe I'll figure it out. Nah, maybe I'll figure it out during this play. So you may be wondering I'm doing all this explaining now, because now we need to talk about the other two team types here. Also, this is the end. If you get hurt, you go out and fight and get hurt, you come back in here and you restore hit points at the rate of, you pay 1 gold for every 1 hit point you get hurt. We aren't hurt, so we aren't paying anything right now. Someone back here? Yes, there is. Ginbu has hidden the key to the door in the Statue of Hero. So, we want to get in that door. We need the key. It's in the statue somewhere, which we will see soon enough. Nope, can't retire. So this is kind of confusing if you don't know what's going on. We have 1 full and 3 empty slots. It will not let us retire. But when we click another spot here, it asks us OK or cancel. And now we can recruit a second person. We can recruit humans. And here are the main differences between the 3 major types. Male and female, the main difference is one starts off a little stronger, the male, and one starts off a little more agile, the female. And that's true for both humans and mutants. But humans do not increase stats through combat. At all. Period. You have to buy the little strength, agility, and hit point potions to be able to raise their stats. Defense can be raised by equipping armors and such, but yeah, they do not get stronger through combat. You can grind all you want, the only thing you get's money and hurt out of it for them. You have to save up the money to buy potions to make them stronger. Mutants, on the other hand, do get stronger through combat. When they finish combat, there's a random chance that one of their stats will go up a point. And I don't believe the game actually really informs you that their stats are going up a point, but their stats will go up, slowly but surely. Monsters. These 4 monsters are all considered monster. And the reason, I don't know really why they give you such a wide variety to start with, but the thing is, monsters get stronger by eating the meat of other monsters you defeat. Just randomly, after combat, doesn't matter if the monster's a machine or what, it's still going to have something for for your little buddy here to chow down on. And then it, well, let's just say that if you picked a good monster to chow down the meat on, your monster gets stronger. If you pick a bad monster, i.e. weaker than you, and eat the meat, your monster gets weaker. There's actually an algorithm which determines exactly what type of monster you will turn into by eating the meat of a different type of monster, depending on what you already are. But you basically get to stay as lizard. You start as lizard, skeleton, albatross, and goblin. And you will need to find meat of strong monsters to make it work for you. So, if humans do not gain stats naturally and you have to pay for them along with all their equipment, and mutants do gain stats naturally, why would you want humans over mutants? Well, excuse me. The main thing is, mutants lose half of their carrying capability by having abilities. Abilities that they also gain through the natural order of things. And carrying fresh weapons and armor, because a mutant can't carry items for the most part. You have 3 major pieces of armor. You have a gauntlet, you have armor, and you have a helmet. You also have shields. Shields are not automatically equipped type weapons, or defensive items in this case, but you've got 3 major types of armor and 1 that will only ever be carried by human. So the problem is, you can't carry any items whatsoever. No revives, no potions, no nothing. But they can cast magic. But they are physically weaker than humans. But they are magically inclined. So humans here are pack mules. And you want them, they are probably the best overall character just because, well, they're not going to be randomly turning into other monsters on you during your quest, and you're not going to be reliant on them to get randomly assigned abilities through combat. And yes, that's the thing. Mutants, as they get stronger, as they fight more things, can just randomly get some type of psionic or whatever attributes whatsoever. And they get up to 4 of these. If they have 4 and they get a 5th one, the last one in line gets replaced by the new one. So you got to be careful about how you line up your abilities with them before you lose the one you really wanted. But anyway, so we need 3 other party members. And I think most people that know me will know exactly who I'm going to go with. This video's been long. I'm going to make my party, and then we will cut the video, and we will start the next game with all these explanations in hand. So let's see. Who do I want? You know, on second thought, I will make the party off screen and I will introduce them at the start of the next video. So until then, take care everyone. You know what? I lied. I went ahead and just made the characters because I need to do grinding off screen like right away. And I didn't want to have to come back and make a very short video because things got really painful. So, to begin, we have me, Srat. Then we have Lantern, shortened to JK, from JK Lantern becomes JKL. We have Mage, who is short for Lady Mage. And Star for Star Princess HLC. We have 2 human fighters. For some reason it gave one of them, it gave the second one less hit points. We have our mutant. And we have a monster, so we have a very balanced party. There are challenge runs of this game, which are all mutants or all monsters. Let's not do that. Let's just get through the whole thing. But before we go, we're going to extend this video just a little bit longer, and we're actually going to show off combat and how much of it I'm going to be doing, so we can explain things as we go. A couple things we need to talk about here, though. First, actually, let's get into this. Let's get into the abilities for a second. So we've seen the human abilities. These two are pretty much the same. Strength is 703, equipped with hammer, 814. So your starting character gets a slight bump over the normal. I guess that's the whole thing. Also, no armor for you. No armor for you, Lantern. You just have a hammer. That's good because a lot of things are going to look like nails. But for the mutant, you have 4 slots here which are blank at the start and will eventually get filled up by, well, abilities that you gain over the course of the fights. If we are lucky, the one fight I'm going to show off here will do this, but you start with the rapier. And three other slots that can be filled eventually by armor. So you're going to get 1 weapon, you're going to get 4 abilities, then you're going to get armor. You get to carry nothing but the basics. You, I don't think, get to actually carry anything. You just get your bite attack, and you get weaknesses to ice. From everything I remember, you get to carry absolutely nothing. So, yeah, this is your lot. Whatever monster you are determines what your moveset is. But you start out a little bit higher in the strength, defense, agility, and mana category than the rest of us. Also, mana, because magic user. And one more thing that I can bring up here, the hearts. Every time a character dies, except for maybe the top one, the main character, you lose a heart when you revive. If you have no hearts left, you cannot revive. That's why they are for sale for the exorbitant fee of 10,000 gold. And that's why you have to be very careful, or you have to have disposable party members at the very beginning. I don't want to dispose of these guys, I want to keep them around. Because they might get angry with me if I let them die. So, let's go out here and walk around town. And here's a lizard. This is exactly the same type of monster Star is at the moment. But we have longsword, we use longsword. We have hammer, we use hammer. Rapier, and bite. And Lantern took 10 damage in that hit. And we got 40 gold from beating the lizard. It's a good thing because we need a lot of it to repair Lantern. And this is how you spend the first batch of, well, just about everything. So we need half of our gold to repair Lantern. It's gonna get expensive real fast. But let's look at something real quick. 3075. Okay. The main thing we need to do is be able to save up enough money to buy new weapons when they replace. We're gonna get a second battle here. against another lizard. Great, and I take 9 damage. I don't have a whole lot of, and we lost 17 hit points so far, which means it's 17 gold needed to repair. Okay, we took another damage, and we found meat of lizard. Which, once we get, since we are a lizard, this is going to have absolutely no effect. So let's see. And now, Mage is up to 5 strength, 7 agility, and 5 mana. Because she fought a couple of battles, she is now a little stronger. I think if she takes damage during the fight, she will get stronger too, but that will be a hit point increase. So there we go, that's what's going to happen. These guys are both me and Lantern both are exactly as strong as we were before. But this is how you level. You get meat, you eat the meat for your monsters, you just go out and get in fights and your mutants get leveled up. And then, for the final way you increase, I know I already showed this off, but let's see, now that I've been in combat. Nope, that's not it. You buy these and give them to the fighter. You buy these and give them to humans. Also, potions, I don't think there's so much, I guess they are cheaper in the long run, but I doubt it. They are nicer than the ends anyway. As far as you don't have to travel all the way back to town. So now we're down to 34 gold, which is 34 more than we started with, and this is plenty of time for this video. So now I will go get started on my severe grinding session, because I need money and I need a lot of things. I need armor first of all, really, so I can stop taking so much damage, and then maybe I can save up and afford a few increases here and there. But that's a future me problem, like 5 minutes from now. Now that we've gotten all the introduction out of the way that I pretty much need to, I'm going to call this a full first part of the video, and when we come back we should be significantly stronger. At least I hope, because we're going to need to be, because you saw one battle took half of one character's hit points. This is not a good start. It's the only start you can get, but it doesn't mean it's a good one. So anyway, for real this time, take care everyone. See you later.